organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, increased parking fees was a major talking point at Wednesday's Regent meetings. Find out what it means for the UI.
Plus, apartment life might be changing in Iowa City. Find out what that means for students.
And in sports, parents are often major influences for athletes. Find out about this influential relationship between one Iowa wrestler and his father.
That's all coming your way next.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for tuning in to your Wednesday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Brad Maxwell.
And I'm Allie Wright. Budget cuts at the University of Northern Iowa and flood recovery at the UI were some of the main issues discussed at Wednesday's State Board of Regents meeting in Iowa City. The board also voted to increase fees at on-campus parking ramps here in Iowa City, as well as at Iowa State and UNI. The new fees expect to bring in about $700,000 in revenue during the 2013 fiscal year at the Regent universities in the state. The money will go towards maintenance costs, increased transportation to parking lots by CAN bus, along with other appropriations. The Regents also approved the demolition of one entrance to the UI field house to make way for the new Children's Hospital. This will improve access to the hospital with construction of a 2-lane roadway. The next Regents meeting is April 25th.
The Iowa City City Council is debating an issue that could change a big part of UI students' lives, apartment life. Daily Iowan TV's Christina Targos took a look at what exactly this change is.
A new ordinance is being debated on the Iowa City City Council. It is the first of 3 on the topic, and if passed, would prohibit more than 3 unrelated people from living in an apartment unit in neighborhoods around downtown and the UI campus. The new ordinance is aimed to reduce the number of parties, noise, and crime that comes from apartments. This is already in effect everywhere else in the city. Students don't need to worry, though. It will not change any existing leases. They're using a term called grandfathering.
There's a term called grandfathering. So all the existing buildings that have 4 and 5 bedroom units in them are grandfathered in. They will not be affected. What will be affected is new construction.
So all of the apartment buildings that now have 4 to 5 bedroom apartment units will stay like that and will continue to lease to 4 to 5 tenants. And while this might mean higher rents for students, the City Council is addressing that too.
We'll see 1,000 to 2,000 or thereabouts more units being built down there. So that will affect the supply of housing and therefore have a good effect on rents.
A majority of the council believes this ordinance is important for both students and long-term residents of Iowa City. Christina Targos, Daily Iowan TV.
The University of Iowa student government announced today who will be running in this year's election. The I-Party consists of current legislative speaker Nick Potabom running for president and current legislative secretary Jesse Tobin running as vice president. The I-Party will run against the hashtag party with budget senator Sonny Katari as president and current academic affairs senator Nick Rolston as vice president. The 2-week campaign session begins Monday, March 26th, and students can vote on ISIS until Thursday, April 5th at 5 p.m.
Still to come on Daily Iowan TV, learn about a UI student who's using artistic skills in a very unique way.
And in sports, one Iowa baseball team member will be playing against a familiar face in Wednesday night's home opener. Find out what the Hawks are doing to prepare.
Yet another beautiful day of shorts and t-shirt weather. But how long will it last? Let's check in with Mariel Coney to see what we can expect for the rest of the week. Mariel?
Thanks, Brad. It's been a nice week so far, even though there's been some heavy rains. And speaking of rain, expect showers on Thursday morning, which will continue to the afternoon. The showers will decrease going into the evening, with temperatures around the low 60s. Expect rain on Friday and Saturday, mixed with some nice temperatures, which will carry into Sunday, where we will see temps as high as 74 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And on Monday, temps will rise up to the upper 70s with partly cloudy skies and 75 on Tuesday. But be aware because thunderstorms will roll in on Tuesday and it will clear back up on Wednesday with some partly cloudy skies. So enjoy the rest of the week and enjoy some sun for the time being. Back to you.
A recent study conducted by researchers at the University of Notre Dame and Purdue University suggests that possessing a gun can deceive a person to think that people around them are also carrying guns. The findings come just after an unarmed Florida teenager was shot to death by a man who said he was acting in self-defense and thought the teenager was concealing a weapon. The researchers emphasized the research was not in response to this incident and that it also wasn't meant to go against gun laws.
Jennifer Commissar is a secondary education and Spanish major here at the University of Iowa, and although she spends most of her time doing her practicum, nail designing, a hobby that started way back, is still a part of her college routine.
Yeah, I guess as far back as I can remember, since I was younger, me and my sister would, we would have nail art, nail polishes in the house, and my mom would always have like every color like for us.
And with many years of experience, Jennifer is able to recreate designs that inspire her onto her own nails. So I brought in my own design that inspired me earlier in the day to put to the test.
So Jennifer, what are you going to do with my nails today?
Well, I really loved the yellow floral pattern you brought in, so I think we're going to try that and just start with a white base coat.
All right.
Really took off though, once I got to college and started blogging and realized, wow, a lot of other girls do nail art and they really take time to invest in it, and just seeing them get inspired by different things was really cool.
And another cool thing about doing nail designs for others is when it helps fundraise a trip to China.
I thought, hey, letter writing is a great way to raise money, but so could nails. So, I had a couple of girls come just into my dorm at the time in Stanley and painted their nails, and they would just kind of donate at their will, to help me get to China.
But going to China isn't all she wants to get out of it.
I would love to get into the beauty world, and I just really see a need for just really good community among men and women in the beauty world, and fashion and hair and nails, and I would just really love to build that community and just help people learn how to love themselves for who they are.
So if you're looking for a fun new way to get your nails done or some good company, definitely keep this as an option. From Iowa City, Mariel Kone, Daily Iowan TV.
And if you'd like to check out more of Jennifer's nail designs, you can visit her blog site at 10minicanvases.tumblr.com.
And now let's see what's going on outside of Iowa. The standoff continues in France as French authorities have surrounded the apartment of the man they suspect killed 7 people in the last few weeks, including 3 children outside of a Jewish school Monday morning. French media have detained the suspected killer's mother, brother, and girlfriend.
And a boulder rolled down a hill and crashed into a home in southern Ohio Tuesday night. The boulder was about 25 feet in diameter and also crushed 2 cars before hitting the house. The family was inside at the time, but fortunately, no one was injured.
And the NFL handed out a 1-year suspension to New Orleans Saints head coach Sean Payton today for his involvement in the bounty system that occurred from the 2009-2011 seasons. An NFL investigation in March revealed more than 20 Saints were awarded cash for harmful hits on other players.
And now for your Hawkeye Sports update, let's go to Lauren Moss.
All right, thanks guys. Now skill, work ethic, and determination are just a few of the characteristics needed to be a successful athlete. However, there is one factor that people are quick to overlook. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Nick Robertson takes a look at the forgotten force that drives many athletes.
A quiet observer, a motivator.
Let's go, buddy.
An unwavering support structure. These are some of the qualities that all student athletes' parents try to have. Delmarion is no exception. He is the father of Iowa senior wrestler Montel Marion and enjoys the role that he plays.
It is tough being a wrestling parent, but it's no feeling like anything else in the world.
After 4 successful seasons, 2 of which he saw his son become an All-American, Delmarion says he knows what part he has to play to help his son the most.
This is his last go-around, and I'm going to remove myself because he needs to win the whole thing, and I don't need to get in his way.
With college wrestling being one of the most mentally tough sports any athlete can compete in, not to mention raucous crowds filling arenas to try and taunt you and get in your head, that doesn't bother Delmarion as long as they don't cross the line.
I don't mind as long as they're not personal attacks.
Marion says even with a lot of negativity aimed at kids, he has experienced just as much support.
I was talking to a customer, and when she found out that my son was Montel, she started crying. Her and her son are big Montel fans, and they have this huge picture of Montel that they personally had taken, and I had them mail it to me so I could have my son autograph it.
And even when things don't go as planned for Montel, love and encouragement will always be unconditional.
I'm proud of him, no matter what. Even though he might not want to hear it, I'm going to tell him anyway.
Nick Robertson, Daily Iowan Television.
That's what I'm talking about.
Montel finished his final season at Iowa as a 3-time All-American and finished second in both the Big Ten and National Wrestling Tournament. And in baseball, the baseball team comes to Iowa City this week with a handful of freshmen making big plays. Daily Iowan's Kate Constable tells us why they are moving up positions.
The Hawkeye baseball team has had their ups this season despite their 6-10 record, with players making a lot of progress in their game. But those ups also come with some downs. The Hawks have suffered bumps and bruises along the way, causing some roles to be switched.
We've had a couple injuries here that are a little more severe than we thought, so we're going to have to make a couple adjustments. But Mangler hurt his leg. He's going to be out for a couple weeks, and Taylor Zutenhorst won't play tomorrow, but hopefully we'll have him over the weekend. He's moved from center field to right field, and hopefully we'll have him back. So we'll see what happens as far as those goes. But again, it's opportunities for other guys who are very deserving opportunities to play.
But the depth of Coach Dom's freshman roster seems to be filling the gaps quite nicely.
Our recruiting class got ranked very high, and these guys are backing it up. They showed that they like the pressure. They've come up with a lot of big hits and done a great job on the mound for us. So, bottom line, it's still a team game.
Jake Yasinich is one freshman in particular that has been playing out of the park for the Hawks this season. In Wednesday's game, Yasinich will be starting shortstop against a familiar face, his grandfather, Lou Yasinich, who is the coach of the Grandview Vikings.
That's kind of the reason why we're playing this game is to give Jake an opportunity to play against his grandfather. So, but we're going to give some guys opportunities to play some different positions with the injuries and prepare ourselves for the weekend.
Kate Constable, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawks will also kick off conference play with 3 games this weekend against Northwestern. And that's all I have for your sports update for tonight. Back to you at the desk.
And before we leave you tonight, check this out. A New York woman took to the skies to celebrate her 100th birthday. Helen Volpe earned her pilot's license nearly 7 decades ago. It marked her first time in the cockpit since the 1950s, and the single-engine Cessna was similar to what she flew back then. She hopes to celebrate her 101st birthday the exact same way.
If I'm 100 and still doing that, I'll be a happy guy, let me tell you. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Thursday's print version of the Daily Iowan. Read about how Iowa City community leaders gathered to create another plan for alcohol prevention.
Plus, a national expert in Middle East issues says the region is playing with matches with no thoughts on the consequences. Hear what he had to say to the Iowa City community.
That's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out the same time tomorrow or anytime at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for watching and have a great night.